Hey, it's the 4:30 wake-up call. Roll call, where you at? Yeah, it don't stop. Hey, it's crazy because last week I had a phone call, a Zoom meeting with the CEO of ACYR. And we were sitting down and we were just kind of chopping it up, just talking about, where I see, myself walking into this thing. And it's crazy because I explained to her, once upon a time, what the government calls, these opportunity zones, we called it the ghetto. That's where I grew up. That's where I was raised. And what I was explaining to her is that as much as right now it seems fashionable for everybody to be talking about, we need to be changing these opportunity zones, and we need economic equality and racial justice and social equality and all of these different things. The reality is that it's just fashionable. It's kind of like prison reform, right? And people diving into the PIC, right? The prison industrial complex. And shout out to Kim Kardashian because she made it fashionable. As crazy as that sounds, me and my constituents are like, how did that even happen, right? But that's the reality. She made it fashionable for people to start talking about prison reform and criminal justice. And then out of everything that happened during the pandemic with George Floyd, now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh man, social equality, and we need to have economic equality and this, that, and the third. But the reality is that is still the forgotten segment of our population, right? And so when she asked me, well, how do you see yourself fitting in to what's going on right now? That's it. Is to remember the forgotten, to make sure that they get uplifted, to make sure that they get noticed, they get recognized, but then they get empowered, right? We need to be bringing these tools and these resources. We need to be spending our time and energy there, right? Because I'll be honest with you, there was a particular period of my life when at the end of the day, profits over everything, profits particularly over purpose. And so I oftentimes use the analogy, if you go 2 minus 1, the answer is 1. But if you go 1 minus 2, the answer is -1. And so how can you have the same two numbers but end up with different answers? It's because you have the numbers in the wrong place in the equation. And so when you put profits over purpose, you're going to end up with bad results. But if you put purpose over profits, then at the end of the day, it's a I win, you win, we all win. Because at the end of the day, we are only as strong as our weakest link. A rising tide for surely does float all boats. And so we can't allow any portion of our population, whether it be those in those opportunity zones or those in the penitentiaries or in the jail system or those that are homeless or those that have just been downcast, downtrodden, and forgotten, right? How we treat those portion of our population, you judge a nation or a city or a state how they treat their denizens. And these people there, are they not a part of our population? Are they not a part of this country? Are they not a part of our city? Are they not a part of our communities? So you can take these people and you can move them somewhere else, and you can say that, well, we're doing a good thing for the greater good. But in reality, are we? If we're only as strong as our weakest link, are we really doing what's best overall for our population? So understand this, that's the mission. That's the mission, is to figure out how can we serve the underserved? How can we remember the forgotten? It's 4:30 A.M. roll call, man, where you at?